when you leave your body. And you're aware of that. Unless you're going into reincarnation and you see your past lives, you're still on this world, but in a different time frame, which is different. That helps soul become aware. The only thing pertaining to staying on planet Earth that does. If you think, well, I went out and I picked somebody that fell down up today, so now I'm going to heaven. Somebody was having a seizure and you put a pencil in their mouth, whatever, and you helped them. Somebody was drowning, you pulled them out of the water, gave them mouth to mouth, and you saved them. You did a good thing. But does that mean you're going to heaven now? Do you know all the bad things you did on top of that? So the balancing of the karma is critical, and you don't want to balance it. You want to pay it off. You got to pay off all your karma to get into the higher realms and stay there. And that's not dealing with super powerful beings, which we can't help, or they can't help us really in this reality. But getting to the point, which I'm going to try to get back into, when you put it in your consciousness that Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman, any of them were real, or are real energy. Well, if you focus on energy, it kind of stimulates the energy within you. Well, if you think about the Flash, so you're going to run around the planet real fast, or, Wonder Woman, you're going to have superpowers, whatever. Now, the movie on TV called The Gifted, they all have different kind of psychic abilities. And look what it's doing to them and the world and everybody. Psychic abilities do not function in the present moment that we're living in. If they do, they destroy everything greatly and will. It's only going to take one person with, I'd say 90% of any psychic ability to destroy it or change it, rearrange it, create whatever he wants to or she wants to. Just being able to see the future for 1 minute in advance, you could take over the whole planet very shortly. You could save one billionaire's life, they'll give you a couple $1 million. You could go to the casino and take all their money. You could do lots of things. You would own the world shortly. Do you think Spirit allows that to happen now? Because in Atlantis, when we had all those abilities, it wasn't about money. It wasn't about lying. You couldn't lie, because if you could see to a person, know what they're thinking and feeling, you didn't even have to talk, all those kind of things, it was different. It was the Garden of Eden. And to say we're in it now, with child abuse the highest it has ever been, child slavery, child being abused every which way, and I'm going to say it, people might not like it either. I mentioned it about reincarnation. When you reincarnate, it doesn't mean you have to come back. You're not going to come back in the same body. It doesn't mean you have to come back in a male body or a female body. It's not really a choice, but you do come back one or the other. And it changes. Some say men more so than not. Some people say women more so than not. But when you come back in a different body, say you were a man in 20 lifetimes, and now you're a woman. Or you're a woman in 20 lifetimes, and now you're a man. The idea, if it touches soul's not dealing with it in the same way that we think mind does. Well, I'm really a girl. What's really a girl? What's really a man? A programmed idea with body parts. That's all. The conditioning of experiences as a woman, I gave birth in a lifetime. I know the feelings, emotions, and what it went through, what it is like. Do I want to be a woman? I'd rather be a woman. I think a woman has everything, even though they're sexually attacked all the time. They're compassionate. They're more loving. In most cases. I think men are ignorant, evil, destructive. So, how do we move forward? How do we believe we're moving forward? Is there one sign showing that's real or that's true? Of course not. Look at the world. I always say, go to as far as you can, look at the ultimate ending of whatever you're talking about. Total freedom, freedom really. What would that mean? Anybody can do what they want? If I want to walk down the street naked, I can. I want to beat up people, I can. I mean, what's total freedom? Freedom is not reality. I mean, we think we have it in this world. No. That's why there's controllers. That's why Lucifer's there. Whether you want to believe that or not. Everything we do is locked and dead set on the outcome of what we're allowed to create and bring out. Tesla created all this stuff in 1900. And they're only bringing it out in 2000, from 2000 on, greatly. You think 100 years was enough time to hide something? So you don't understand what the government's hiding? And know for a fact, anything you see the government release is already 25 to 50 years old. People say, well, the Russians were playing with UFOs. Well, so were we. So the concept of we're moving forward, we're all one with each other, what's it mean in a good way? Tell me one thing. What would be beneficial being one with the rest of the world? You know what every rapist is going to do? Then stop them. You know what every child abuser is going to do? Then stop them. You're not one with anything. You're one with your ego. When these famous speakers speak about being in a bliss state, stepping back, well, you can hide from the truth. Soul's active. It's not inactive. So when you sit there and do nothing and you meditate, soul is aware and active already. Just that you might tune in and become aware of that. When soul's out of the body, it can do thousands of things much greater and faster than you can in the physical body. Not pertaining to planet Earth, building a house and getting more money. But see, sadly, man has reversed that. We only care about the money and the house, not the spiritual side. Most people. Well, I'm going to heaven. Why? Because your Bible, your book, your master, your teacher said so? Is he going to prove it to you when you're dying? He's going to come in and say, look, you're going to heaven, and you'll be there, and you'll see it and know it? Most people don't know they die. They know they're dying, but after they die, they don't know anything. And then they're reincarnating somewhere, doing something, and unaware of that. Soul has an awareness, but it takes on programs of the physical. Like Earth is important, so it tells itself that it needs to come back to work out some loose ends, which I did. I won't do it again, but I did, for a reason. But you need to understand the reasons why you do things. And there are many, and they're always there. The proof of anything is always up to you to prove it. To yourself. You try to prove it to the world, you're going to get attacked at every level. Even if it is the truth. The proof about it, you're going to die. Look at his body, it's dead. Well, they didn't need you to prove that. But try to prove something that they don't know or didn't know about, like what Jesus was teaching. About leaving the body. What's it really mean? Not astral projection. The soul body is where you reside when all the lower levels become less in your life and you become aware and stay on a higher level. But you're not in a body with genitalia and all those kind of things anymore. So some people don't want to go there even when they know what and where and how. The mental plane, third world and fourth world are incredible. If you wanted to stay there for infinity, you wouldn't mind to. It wouldn't be a bad thing. And nobody would have the right to tell you you can't. To live in a beautiful, incredible reality might be all you want. But there are soul travelers that want to go beyond, get closer to God. God itself, not the idea and the realities that we can dwell in. And here's something nobody's going to tell you, maybe one person on the planet other than me or two people. You can go beyond God. Well, that's impossible. God dwells somewhere. in a reality of its own. But it is there. And it doesn't make people stay there. When I go into the multiple beyond the universe, is inside a black hole, inside a multi-universe and things like that, it allows you to. But it has to have 100% awareness of your awareness that you won't destroy it when you go there. And once you get past the mental plane, you're already at a level where God says, okay, I trust you. And realize God had angels that fell because they abused that power. So he made it that much harder for any souls to leave the lower realms. And people can't even talk about that because they're too dumb, too stupid, too ignorant to look at the truth behind it. Why did Michael fall from the higher worlds? Why did Gabriel fall? Why did Lucifer fall? Why was Lucifer given a mission to take over? There's reasons for all that. How powerful they really were. What their desires really were. I remember a phrase, Tony, Tony, look around, I lost something that must be found. Talking about Tony the angel. And you think all it has to do is look for things for you? I don't know. I always say it. I always find what I want. But is that what its true mission is? Maybe it is. Oh, I want to find things for people that lose them. I mean, we could take on the stupidest or what we would perceive as the greatest ideas to work with. Now, Daniel Brinkley, I was friends with. I am. I will bring him on probably in the beginning of the year. He had the bestseller for many years. All right, Saved by the Light. And it was an incredible story. I'm not going to go into that part of it. If I ever bring him on, I'll let him try to describe and explain certain things that I would challenge him on. And I challenged him the day I met him. I had lunch with him in front of 13 people. And we had an open discussion, which was bizarre because he came out with his total truth in front of these people. So most people cannot do that and will not do that. Challenge me on anything in my life, and I have to talk about it, and I will. Good, better, and different. Suicide for a word, yes, you name it. Any word you want to talk about. Witchcraft, voodoo, demonism, whatever word you want to talk about. It's part of my life, I will talk about it. I don't hide from who I am. That would be contradictory of what I'm trying to do in life. You have to be true to yourself, but more so you have to be true to God. And you have to understand what they both mean. To you, as a person, not what somebody tells you, oh, you're everything you need to be. No, you're not. You don't know a thing about death. Eckhart Tolle has no clue what happens at death. The Dalai Lama has no clue what happens at death. They also have no clue about God. Neither one of them. Because they can't talk about it. And they don't. The Dalai Lama doesn't believe in God. So, yeah, another one. All the greatest spiritual people on this planet, recognized as the most spiritual people on the planet, have no concept of a real God. Not your God, your idea of God. God is what it is. Man makes it whatever it wants it, what man wants it to be. But it's not that. So we can go a little bit further. Man has only been a destroyer to this planet. After Atlantis went down. Sorry. Before that, we were living in the Garden of Eden, and it was beautiful. But alien races didn't like that either. Jealousy is part of ego. And everybody wants what everybody else has. Always been. When we were given the idea of that, we became murderers and killers, rapists. We have everything right now destroying the few bits of morals that we have left to society. Or save those people. If you can't save yourself, you can't save nobody else. If we can't feed all the people in the United States, we can't feed the world. What's wrong with people's thinking? And remember, maybe the people that are destroying the world in the United States shouldn't even be in the United States, which they came here and killed people to take over their land to be here. Same as Moses' people did when they got to the Promised Land. Killing is not the solution. Jesus